Hello, my friends. It's Jenny. Some of you may know that I am launching a teacher training program, both a 200-hour and a 500-hour, starting in November. And our first weekend, we start in person with a weekend immersion where I cook for you, make you a little lunch, and we meet in my studio here in Seattle. So most of the program is hybrid. It's both virtual, it's live stream, and self-paced. So I realize that some of you may have wanted to know a little bit more about the program, get that little sneak peek into the curriculum, which I offered this last weekend with some tech glitches. So I wanted to just re-record. Mercury was retrograde, and oh boy, was there a little bit of a disconnect there with some of the communications around my live YouTube. So I've decided to just record something here so that you can dive in with me and get a sneak peek into the curriculum and see if this program or programs are right for you. So you don't, just a quick reminder, you don't have to want to be a yoga teacher to actually do a yoga teacher training. Many of you already know that, but this is just really a way to begin to embody more the roots of yoga, deepen your own spiritual and yoga practice. And also, it's really rich for personal development. There is so much self-reflection. Svadhyaya is one of the yamas or the niyamas in the Yoga Sutras, and it is practiced by being rigorously self-honest and being able to grow from that ability to reflect honestly with how we show up in the world, how we show up for ourselves, and how we show up in our relationships. So this is a very deep dive into kind of that kind of interpersonal work, should you choose to take it to that level. So the 200-hour is a very foundational teacher certification program. The 300-hour is much more in-depth, and we dive deeper into the principles and practices of yoga. But let me start to share my screen first, and I'll just give you a quick overview of first the landing page on my website. So if you've been to my website and you click the teacher training tab, you'll see that I have these two programs right now, starting in November 7th to be specific. So I'm going to come down and just read a few little things that the AlignedLife Yoga School, that's the school that I've created. It's this training, their pathways designed to meet you exactly where you're at. So sometimes what I've been hearing too is like, well, I don't know how to do a handstand, or I still haven't mastered crow pose. That really doesn't matter. That's not a requirement to becoming a yoga teacher. So, just to release some of that imposter syndrome, if you do want to become a certified yoga teacher, it is not a requirement that you know every single pose and that you perfect every single pose and that you do it well. So it's really less about performance and more about how you show up, both for yourself and for your students. So they're designed to meet you exactly where you're at on your yoga journey. And if you've just begun a yoga journey or you don't know anything about yoga, this program is still for you. I'm offering a progressive path to deepen, to discover, to find your own authentic voice, and with the intention of living more in the expression of your highest self, which is like for the greater good for yourself and for others. So, which program is right for you? The 200-hour program is the foundational experience. So, born from the soul-led roots of yoga, it's designed to deepen your practice and become your yoga certified teacher anywhere. That's true for the 500-hour program as well. So, the 300 program is for people who are teachers who are already certified in the 200-hour certification with whatever school. So the 300-hour gives teachers that opportunity to become a 500-hour certified teacher trainer. Excuse me, certified teacher. Yoga teacher. So it's the 300-hour program is for advanced studies. They're offered upon completion of the 200. So if you join the 200-hour program and you decide that you want to deepen and go further into the more comprehensive 300-hour, then that's available to you. We will start in April, May. And it starts with the California retreat, and we start there as our first in-person immersion. The 500-hour program is when you sign up for both at the same time. So when you sign up for the 200 and 3-hour together, you'll save a lot. Actually, you'll save a lot more money, and you'll also receive the first immersion in California at the yoga retreat in California, you'll receive that if that's built into your cost for the program. So the 500-hour program is fully integrated, heart-led studies and practices guided by the roots and spiritual wisdom of yoga for advanced certification. So it says here you receive huge savings and bonuses when you sign up. So the 200-hour foundations program is all about becoming confident within yourself and embodied with the practices and principles of yoga so that you can be an authentic teacher for sure. But you'll notice even as you're starting to do the work and learning a little bit more and more about the principles and practices of yoga, this ancient wisdom, you'll start to embody that and you'll start to recognize how it begins to have a ripple out effect into your life. You're able to better begin integrating and weaving in these principles into your daily life versus just on the mat. So really, this program, what my biggest hope is that the takeaway that you come away with is that you come away with just a deeper connection with your inner sanctuary. And also, my hope and intention is that you come away just feeling less fear in the world and and experiencing less reactivity in the world, where the barbs of your usual annoyances and triggers soften. It's a hybrid program, like I said. So I'm going to have you go to this website when you're ready. It's my alignedyoga.net. Rather than me reading all through this, although I will quickly run through that all training modules, videos, replays are in a digital platform. You get 40% off the Hawaii Integration Retreat in February when you sign up for the 200 or the 500 hour. You'll have 3 in-person full weekend immersions at home retreat, and the calendar is all on this same landing page. You'll receive 30% off solstice and equinox events at the home retreat studio. And what's not included here, and what I meant to add, is that if you join my seasonal membership live in-person classes here at my studio, if you join the winter series, then you get half off. And those are weekly classes. So we'll meet twice a month for yoga in the morning and that's virtual live streaming. You'll have access to any of my Sunday morning classes, any drop-in classes. You'll always have access to those. Those are select Sundays. Um, you will have homework labs. If you're local to Seattle, many of those homework labs and asana labs will be offered hybrid. So you can be in person or online. And you'll also get a bound training manual, so paper manual. You'll walk away with your 200-hour yoga certification, a strong foundation in yoga philosophy, anatomy, and sequencing. You'll find confidence in your voice, your presence, and your intuition. And that's key because where we begin this curriculum, my teacher training starts within. It starts with your sadhana, your daily spiritual practice. And if you don't have one, that's okay. We can create one together. We can co-create one. It's all about really tuning into your intuition, trusting that, releasing self-doubt and fear, and practicing this sadhana daily begins to build this amazing spiritual foundation where it kind of builds on itself. And so it's not about being rote or doing the same thing every single week, every single day, year upon year. Your contemplative morning daily spiritual practice can change, ebb and flow with the seasons or with your cycle, or with the moon cycle. And then let me just keep going. A toolkit for teaching, self-regulation, and interconnection. You'll receive a lifelong resource to return to and grow with and evolve from, and your bound teaching manual. So I'm going to skip past the 300-hour advanced journey and head over to the 500-hour comprehensive, your integrated path of wisdom. That's Gracie, and I apologize that she's barking, but she might keep doing that because someone's at the door. Gracie, come here, baby. Come here. So this program combines the 203-hour yoga teacher training programs for big savings and added bonuses. So what some of the things that you'll kind of walk away with, or that are included in this deeper dive into the yoga philosophies and asanas, And wisdoms are profound understanding of yoga philosophy, subtle anatomy, and advanced biomechanics, a mastery in creating truly transformative classes, whether you're teaching or whether those are transformative and creative, intuitive classes that you offer yourself. Confidence in your own embodied wisdom. So knowing how to cultivate inner presence, regulating your own energy, and guiding others with compassion and integrity. And guiding others with compassion and integrity can be, bringing that into your parenting, bringing that into a classroom, bringing that into the boardroom, right? The workspace. Also, an ability to hold truly safe and trauma informed inclusive spaces, recognizing the diverse needs of all students. And I would just say all people, right? When we can hold compassion and hold space for that compassion out in the world, we're able to see and reconnect with our own shared humanity. You'll get a clear sense of your authentic voice, your dharma, your purpose, and lifelong tools for self regulation, energetic hygiene, spiritual hygiene, and continued personal integration. So I'm going to keep scrolling. And again, I invite you to come through here and just kind of click these boxes and really get a deep dive into kind of the richness of this program. And of course, you'll walk away with a 500-hour yoga certification. And let's keep going. This training is more than an education. It's initiation, it's reclamation, and it's an embodied leadership that you were meant to live. So I love that the power of yoga really does translate out of a studio and out into the world. And that is what I hope that you also receive from this program. So what's included in your 500-hour program tuition? All the training modules from both the 200-hour and 300-hour programs. Again, 40% off the Hawaii retreat, the California retreat, if you sign up for the 500-hour straight out the gate. The Radiant Way Day Retreat also is included when you sign up for the 500-hour. Radiant Way Day Retreat, we're doing that this weekend on Whidbey Island. We're going to do it again next year. 3 in-person immersions at Home Retreat Studio. Actually, for the 500-hour, it's 2 in studio, 1 in California. Access to any select morning yoga classes at Home Retreat Studio, bonus coaching sessions, integration tools, and business mentorship is also included in the 500-hour. Access to private mentorship container and ongoing support from your lead trainer, which is me. The other thing that you'll also get, not just with the 500-hour, but also with the 200-hour, is a community, this online community, the platform that we share for the teachings has a community built in so that we can kind of create accountability buddies and share ideas and inspirations and support. Also included in the 500-hour are monthly moon circles here at the studio, solstice and equinox events with lunch, also included in the 500-hour. Your capstone project, which is that culminates at the end of your at graduation weekend, live online asana and homework labs, and the bound training manual. So here's the cost and commitment. The early bird, super early bird, discount ends in literally 2 days. So on the 31st of July. So if you're at all considering this program and you know that actually it is right for you, but you're not willing to make that commitment yet financially, I would invite you to lock in this early bird price by heading into my website and clicking any of these red buttons, well, actually this red button, if you're in the 200, if you want the 200-hour, whoops. And that'll take you, I'll show you, right to, doo, 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 doo. Never mind. I'm just kidding. That gives you the overview of the curriculum. When you click, when you click the 200-hour underneath the 200-hour, up here. Anyway, it's up here. Begin today. So if you click it, most of those red buttons are going to take you to a payment page. And the payment page gives you the option of paying the deposit. And then if you decide that route, then you will get monthly direct debits starting in November. So that way, if you aren't ready to make the full commitment to the full price, that non-refundable deposit will lock you into that early bird price. So again, the super early bird pricing here ends in 2 days, and then it jumps up and then it jumps up again, and that's the standard cost, the 3,900. So I would invite you to really get a jump on in the next 2 days to get your super early bird. And then the next deadline for the early bird is September 30th. So here's the calendar overview. You're going to see this full calendar here with all the dates so that you can really look at your year ahead or your 6 months ahead and see how you are going to integrate this program into your life. So all the dates are there, and it goes down now month by month, what happens each month, right? So like in November, we start with the immersion, and then Wednesdays online classes. There's a full moon circle in December, winter solstice practice, the homework lab, and then Wednesdays online. So you get the idea. Let's head over to the curriculum, and I'll just give you a brief overview. This is what it would look like for you. When you join, this is what your digital platform will look like. So you have sort of all of the information here on the left of the chapters. So for 200 hours, so I'm just featuring the 200 hour right now, you'll have chapter 1 through 8. So chapter 1, foundations of embodiment. Chapter 2, wisdom and practice. Chapter 3, the body as foundation. Chapter 4, taking care of you. Chapter 5, the art and science of sequencing, weaving the practice with purpose. Chapter 6, the art of guiding. Chapter 7, yoga ethics. Chapter 8, the business of yoga. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly open up the first chapter so that you can kind of get a sense of the richness of the program, the roots and evolution of yoga, the energetics. There's a chakra workshop video here, breath as foundation, what is pranayama, subtle to somatic, and so on. So what I'll do after for each chapter, there's a quiz, and then there's also a manual for each chapter. You'll also get a full bound manual of all the chapters, but I'll just show you that you also will have access to a digital manual. So basically, everything that's in chapter 1 resides in your manual. So, for instance, the table of contents here in your chapter 1, you'll see a welcome. And then the first thing we're going to do is sankalpa. So, sankalpa is cultivating not only your sacred intention, but your deep, deep, deep intention for how you want to literally be, capital B E. So a sankalpa is an intention. And so what we'll do is we'll have a homework exercise and some open discussion, live discussion about what is a sankalpa and how do we craft and create one so that that's your compass, that's your guiding light throughout the entire curriculum. And then within that sankalpa, we'll be also inviting that idea that a daily spiritual practice is part of your sankalpa for how you want to become. So here's just an example of chapter 1, right? So the 6 branches of yoga, yoga terms and definitions, pranayama practices, weaving yoga into daily life, mapping the subtle body, and bridging wisdom traditions. So that's just an example of chapter 1. So you get a sense now of each chapter is going to have its own unique manual that you can print out yourself if you'd like, just if you want to do it chapter by chapter, but you'll also, like I said, have a bound manual with all 8 chapters. And again, I'm speaking just for the 200-hour training. I'm not speaking for the 500 hours as well, but the same rules apply. There are chapters within the 300-hour program, and each chapter will have its own manual digitally, and then you'll also get a bound manual as well. So I really would love to chat with you about the program. So if there's an opportunity for you to take 15, 20 minutes out of your day to just have a peek at my calendar and book a time. If you don't find a time that's convenient for you, you know how to get hold of me. Just go ahead and send me an email or even send me a text if you have my phone number, and I'd be so happy to chat with you about any questions that you might have. So my hope is that I've answered many of those questions here in this video, and I really appreciate your time, and I am going to hop off now, but just with a little reminder to go to my website. It's alignedyoga.net, and hit the teacher training tab and take a dive into all of the gems that are woven within my curriculum. And one of the reasons that I also wanted to create this teacher training program, just so that you know, is I've had over, probably upwards of 2,000 hours of trainings in my yoga career and lifetime. And they've really enriched my lives. And when I did my 200 hour and my 500 hour teacher trainings, so my 200 hour I did with Yoga Works, and they're out of Santa Monica. And I did my 500 hour, or rather 300 hour with Eight Limbs Yoga. And they were brilliant, and they were designed so that you could kind of stretch it out and do it at your own pace, like maybe take years to do it. And so what I found was that that wasn't helpful for me. Like I actually needed a container. I needed a time space container, and I needed the same cohort of people. That's what was lacking for me, among other things in my trainings. But that was the piece that was really lacking for me, and that's what I'm offering you, so that we have this sweet little cohort. I'm inviting in no more than 8 people. I've got 5 more spots left, and I hope that you'll be one of those students who join us for the yoga teacher training. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for listening. I know it's been a little long-winded, but I appreciate your time. And yeah, reach out, get a hold of me. Okay. Much love. Namaha. I bow to you.